Welcome everyone to our weekly Soul Changes Lives webinar. My name is Debbie Perez Cockburn. I'm happy to see your smiling faces. I do the moderation of this discussion. We usually start with a testimonial at every class. That's why our webinars are called Soul Changes Lives. We get to hear a real live version of how soul has actually impacted or changed someone's life. This week is no different. We have a wonderful testimonial. It actually comes to us pre-recorded by our friend Mirsada Memic, who will be sharing her experience that she had when she contracted COVID and some of the products that actually changed her for the better, and why she felt so compelled to share her story. So we'll be listening to Mirsada today. And then, as usual, we have our friend Greg Halliday, who is the president and CEO of Soul Naturals. He is also one of its founders. And Greg is going to be talking to us about a product called PowerChi and how it is that PowerChi can actually help not just our chi in our body or our body energy, but how it impacts our metabolism, how it impacts our circulatory system, and how it can impact our central nervous system. So that's going to be really exciting. And I'm looking forward to his discussion today on this product. We actually talked about it yesterday on our Spanish webinar, and he did such a great presentation. So I'm excited and looking forward to it today. And I hope that you are looking forward to it also. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we will go ahead and listen to that testimonial from my sweet friend Mirsada Memic, who will be doing that for us today. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Hi. My name is Mirsada Memic. I'm originally from Bosnia, and the reason why I mentioned that, I'm hoping that you will forgive me in case that I mispronounce some words, because English is my second language and it's also my weakest side. I can say about myself that I'm a spiritual being who has opportunity to live this life in a human body, and I'm so grateful for it. Also, I'm a licensed massage therapist and certified natural health professional with more than 20 years of experience. Purpose of my life is actually to help as much people as I can to achieve healthier and happier life. I want to share with you that doesn't matter who we are and what professions we are in, there is always chance and possibility that we will face some challenges in our life. Some people may call difficulties or illness, and the other one may call it or see it as an opportunity. Not long ago, when unseen visitor, publicly known as a COVID-19, entered my body and made a lot of damage inside and leave me with so much discomfort. After I overcome some of the symptoms of it, my body felt like a village after tornado. I was looking for an answer how to regain my strength and how to go back to normal where I was before that happened to me. I did not have to wait for a long time when I received a message from Soul Natural that they offering a free webinar, free educational webinar, and I choose to attend it without any expectation and without knowing what I will learn that day. On my surprise, they was talking just about things what I had to hear in that moment. Special attention I paid to the product when by name Amitox. It's actually formula that have so many different herbs inside, and having experience with many of that ingredients made me stop and think. While they was talking about it, I was taking my notes because I just want to compare that information with all my previous knowledge, what I learned and experienced before, and I want to see how that one will affect my body. When I read all that single ingredients and everything makes sense to me, because most people said that you have to put two and two together in order to understand some stuff, but in this matter I have to put actually 12 together, you know, to understand how that one will work in my body. I started taking it for the first week. I was took double dose, which I don't recommend it to you if you don't have previous experience and knowledge about herbal product. After 1 week, I start feeling better, and I went back on normal dose, which is just 2 to 3 capsules a day. I think this formula will be my friend for a very long time, and I will call it as a special formula to shower our body from inside. Most of us paying attention to the body from outside, but just a few of us actually paying attention to our body from inside, and this one is very good formula to take shower of our body from inside, because our body really deserves some attention. I just want to say thank you so much for this experience. I'm so grateful. I want to especially say thank you to Greg Holiday and all team that worked so hard to come up with a formula to help so many people out there. I got my answer, what I was looking for, and hopefully that you will get yours if you just give a chance for this product to work in your body. And I just don't know what else I can say, but I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity to share my experience with you, and I want to say may God bless you all. I love you, and please take care of your health. It's priceless. We don't know how much is worth it till we lose it. Thank you so much.
I love that. I love that. Did you just love that testimonial? I think the world of her. And she texted that to me last night. And she said, I hope they couldn't see that I was crying. And that's why I said, may God bless everyone at the end. And I didn't know how to finish it because I was really emotional. And I thought, wow, what little I know of Mirsada, I haven't known her for very long, but I just love her so much. And I was so grateful. I was truly moved by her sincerity, her honesty, and she just has so much knowledge. And when she said, you know, sometimes you have to put 2 and 2 together to make things work in your brain. And she said, in this case with Amitox, I had to put 12 together to understand how it would work in my body. And I truly love that. You know, who can get over a virus that quickly and feel that well in a week after using something like Amitox? She was talking about this webinar, by the way. She was invited by Greg to attend our webinar, and now she's a super fan, and I love that. And we're going to be talking about that. And so, Greg, I thank you for sending Mirsada over this way, because really that's an awesome testimonial. And Greg is online with us right now, and so I would like to welcome Greg. Greg is, like I said, we've been personal friends for 30 years. We worked together before, and I've asked Greg to talk about a super product, which is part of our 4-month to Better Health program. It is a member of that program. It is part of our 4th month. It's part of the PowerChi package. And so I've asked Greg to talk about PowerChi. I think most people, when they hear about PowerChi, they automatically think, okay, that's a weight loss product, or that's a product to boost my energy when I'm not feeling very energetic. But it's so much more, just like all of our Soul natural products. But I know Greg knows Mirsada, and he's going to make a comment on Mirsada's testimonial. And I'll just turn over the time to Greg. And Greg, when you're done, just go ahead and jump right into your presentation on PowerChi, please.
Thanks, Deb. You know me so well. Debbie calls me her brother, and she knows me that well. My own sisters don't know me any better than Debbie does, and they know me pretty well too. Well, I wanted to tell you, can I tell you just something about Mirsada? And I wanted to thank her too for being willing to share. She does know how many lives just sharing what has worked for us can change. It's really kind of endless when it gets recorded like that and someone else can watch and we can share them. But I met her, so just so you know, Mirsada came from Bosnia, and when she moved here with 2 small children, the fighting in her country was so severe. She told me her story that one of her kids got up one in the morning, they were very young at the time, and said, there's all these people sleeping in our street, Mom. And there had been a battle. Those people were not sleeping. And that was when Mirsada just said, we have to leave. I can't keep my kids here, because she loves her country. And she goes back and she helps. She says, they do not have nutrition. They do not have education on how to feed themselves nutritionally with supplements. So that is one of her big dreams, is to be able to help her country. So she loves her country, but she moved over. Here's the thing I wanted to tell you about her. She's such a giver, like all of you. That's why I know each of you. I'm looking at your names here on the Zoom. She's like you. That's probably why you like her. Because I met her because she didn't even speak any English. I can't remember. I think it was the Detroit area. I want to say Detroit, Michigan. She had to get work, and she had someone help her, because she, again, didn't speak any English, fill out a job application. I think it was in like one of the big car manufacturer, a big car plant. Okay, so that's neat, right? She goes, she doesn't let the language get in her way. She worked through and was somehow able, took a long time. She told me it's been a number of years since I've heard this story. So I apologize if I get a couple of the facts wrong here, but I won't get the big facts wrong for you. But she took all this time and finally got it filled out, and she actually got a job. Well, you'd think, okay, that's awesome, right? Guess what? She actually, the very next thing she did was bring other people who were refugees from Bosnia with her and helped them all fill. This is Mirsada. It wasn't just get myself a job and get my feet under me and then I'll help others, like put the oxygen mask on myself first, because you got to do that to help someone else. It's like that mask was like the rubber band was barely on the back of her head and she was already helping somebody else. And that's the way she is. She's like you.
I'm so impressed by her, Greg, because one of the things that she said, if you noticed on her video, was, I felt compelled to share the story. And my conversation with her was, I hope you don't feel badly about me asking you to do this. She goes, oh no, I'm grateful. I just hope they understand my English. She goes,
she's doing well.
Oh
yeah.
It's amazing. She's like, you changed my life with this product. I think everyone, she says, it's my obligation. It's my calling to share this product with people. So, beautiful comment right there. That was a beautiful comment. What a godly person. Yes, she is a godly person.
She is a sweetheart, and she's strong. She's a strong woman. One of my just dearest friends. Anyway, well, I will jump into the product for today. And I love that Debbie asked me to talk about this. So you got to tell me, because I can't remember, Debbie, if we've gone through this here, and I don't want to, I actually don't mind doing something twice, because I need things several times. That's how they become ingrained in me. But I also want to spend time where everyone wants it spent. And so just let me know if there are particular areas of this, but I'm just going to take an emphasis that Debbie and I talked about yesterday, because this product is sometimes a little different than people think it might be, this PowerChi. And I'm super excited to tell you about it. So here's how I'd like to start. Take a look at that bottle if you can. And the Chinese characters on it. So, because Debbie will always ask me, will you share what was going through your head and those who were on the scientific team in making the formula? Why, what were your thoughts? What were your hopes and goals with the formula? So I would like to tell you that, because one of the deep beliefs that I've become, that's sort of become a driving force in me since we began working with adaptogens so closely, is how much changes when we can improve the flow of energy, and how important, how energy is sort of in and between and around everything that happens, brings balance in our life and brings strength and lets us kind of get back to balance, restores, damaged or weakened situations, and not just physical balance, but emotional balance. So I love the way we named this product Chi, PowerChi, because I love the way the Chinese describe it. They're not the only ones to describe it that way, but they have a unique way, or in essence, they're not. But their particular way, I just love. So the character that's on the label you see there is the character for Qi in Chinese. And you know what I love about it? It's actually two characters. So if you can see my little arrow here, there's this top one that goes right where and then there's a tail on it. So the tail, almost like a backwards P here, that's one character. And as I understand, the best translation that we can come up with in English is wind or spirit. So think of its movement, energy, but it's literally like wind or spirit. Those are two good translations I've heard. The other character is this little one that's tucked inside it, right here, that looks like a plus sign with these little four little teardrops around it. That's the character for rice. So think of this: food, nutrition, rice representing symbolically food. And the combination Qi, or that vital energy, that vital source of life, okay, in Chinese philosophy, is this combination of the flow of energy, wind, spirit, that what you don't see, and actual energy from nutrition. So this product is about restoring that, boosting it, and elevating it. In order to do that, this product has to have components from several soul categories. It's a red label category product because it is designed in concentration to really make a difference in our Qi, okay? But it can't do that without some yellow products in it. Our categories. Yellow is clarifying. You cannot improve the flow of energy if you don't improve your clarifying, which is detoxing, cleansing, aligning, balancing signals, things that need to flow. So what needs to flow in our body? The blood needs to flow, the lymph needs to flow, nerve impulses need to flow, oxygen needs to flow. I mean, all those things that need to be flow, and there's more. We all know this, right? In energy, there are things that we are aware of in energy, and there are those aspects that are this top half of the character in Chinese, the wind, the spirit, right? That we don't define so well in science, but we know they're crucial. And we also know that they are affected by holistically the rest of us, okay? We just can't piece ourselves out. I read something that I think Dr. Allison's going to share here in an upcoming, probably next month with us, which is a 1-page on what holistic with an H means. Oh, she has such a gift for writing. What a mind and what writing she has. She really describes this product. And so just when you hear her talk about holistic and holism in this next month, you'll know why I was so excited about it and why I believe PowerChi was created for that. So one way that this is when we launched. This is some training from Dr. Allison, okay? One way we launched this is sometimes we just need to reboot. In other words, it's look to the basics of energy. What makes it flow? What restores its flow? That's what we mean by reboot, okay? PowerChi is an energy reboot. And because it's an energy reboot, like Debbie says, it has a multiplicity of use that we don't always think of. And why? Well, I think it's obvious when we talk about it this way today, right? Because energy is needed for all vital processes. It just is. And the more of it that we have, the better we tend to do. When we tend to lack, or it's blocked a little, or impeded in any way, the less we tend to thrive. So I'm skipping because we don't have time to do this whole training today, but I like these things about looking at life force. So again, Chinese definition of qi, the life force, does not happen without the right nutrition. Think of the character. When they say qi, they're saying their word, and they're describing it with their writing. And we have to kind of remind ourselves, mind and body, they don't, because the word means both of these, right? I love that. That's why we use the Chinese philosophy so much. The subtle energy flows as well as overall life. A balanced chi, I like these. Your emotions flow easily. What's one great way to see, hey, how balanced is our chi right now? How well do our emotions flow? Do they feel like they burst out or pent up, or do they flow? They should flow. We experience all of them, right? Spiritual chi is a higher state of consciousness. So this is awareness and perspective in my mind, and depth of feeling, okay? Spiritual chi. Okay, if those things aren't part of my life in a way that I feel fulfilled, okay, I can work on my chi. And I can do things nutritionally for my chi, right? So I'm jumping here because some of these are basics. You all know this, but when the chi changes, here's what Dr. Allison says. Your capacity to receive nourishment improves. Your capacity to receive it. Your capacity to restore and rejuvenate improves. Your capacity for creativity and thought. Creativity to me isn't always about imagining this beautiful picture, like painting the arts. It absolutely includes that. But creativity to me is about finding the places we're trying to go, solutions and successes and answers, and able to take journeys that we're embarking on. Creativity is that to me, okay? Our ability, how we feel about ourselves, and other people. Are our thoughts warm and positive about others, or are they, critical and negative? I mean, all these things are a reflection for sure on how we feel about ourselves. And how we feel about ourselves is so absolutely, a result or a consequence, right? Or a reflection, say, of the chi. You could say it that way, of the flow of chi in us. So that's what this product's about, okay? So therefore it has all these interesting applications. And I think we can spark ideas in our minds for different applications that improve and lift our chi when we look at the ingredients. So right, they're leading the list because it's in large quantity in this formula. And it's one of my favorite, you can tell I'm all excited about it. My favorite secrets about this is apple cider vinegar in a concentrated powder. Then you look at the rest of them there. Okay, so pretty good list. What, 3, 6, 9? And of those 9 ingredients, 4 of them are adaptogens. So you almost have 50% adaptogens. Now, and you actually do, if you take out the probiotic, of the herbs in it, you have half of them are adaptogens. So let's look at them a little bit. Why do we have apple cider vinegar? Oh, it's simple. It is an awesome digestion builder. When you talk about the way we absorb, what is that famous saying? You aren't what you eat, you are what you absorb. Someone reminds me of that quite frequently. This is trying to make sure that we absorb. It's rich in acetic acid, yeast, and beneficial bacteria. Think about those symbiotic and important complementary aspects of digestion that if we don't have, the chi does not flow the way it's supposed to, the way we were created. Apple cider vinegar helps keep our fats in the proper place and not sort of corrupt them, so to speak. It can kill a variety of pathogens. Apple cider vinegar, I actually do grab PowerChi sometimes when I want a gut cleanse. I know that sounds so funny, for the apple cider vinegar in it. Lower, maybe not a gut cleanse, but like a gut boost. A gut, a good shot for your gut.
Like a gut reset?
Yeah, thanks, Debbie. That's a better word. Blood sugar it deals with. It is, apple cider vinegar is a friend of the pancreas. I talk about that vital organ. Then the next one is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. It is not a sedative, even though lots of people will say, oh, it's so calming. That's because most of us need calming. It's going to correct the imbalance. There are people who get energy, who simply ashwagandha. And if you're one of those, to me, that actually is a reflection of where your chi is. Okay. Not that, because we always need calming as part of every day. I think it depends on the time of day and how much we're taking, et cetera. But it can also be this wonderful energy because it is rejuvenating. Ashwagandha is also rejuvenating. It lowers peripheral inflammation, lowers cortisol, mimics GABA, some of these wonderful qualities of ashwagandha. And then some studies from Dr. Allison. Here's inflammation. Here's the ability to improve our ratio of muscle, which tends to degrade over time in our lives. And if we can keep it better, we do have better metabolism, better chi, better energy flow in general. So not just inflammation, don't just think of joints, but look at this, neural inflammation. I didn't mention this yesterday, but in our Spanish one, I don't know how big a role this is playing right now. I just suspect it's a lot bigger problem than it used to be because so many of these things are. And I don't know all the impact, but I do know that ashwagandha, one of the reasons you feel so good is it does deal with neural inflammation. Anxiety, you can see improved. And here there's another study with better helping your pancreas, friend of your pancreas. And now here's a third one, Coleus forscolae is a mint. It's of the famous family of mint. You know, if the herbs have like the houses, the famous houses, the mint house has got to be, because there are so many important herbs that are a member of that family. And Coleus forscolae, unfortunately, is getting extracted out. They're taking components from it and they're just using them for specific functions where they want to burn more fat. That's great. But you tell me why you don't want the rest of this wonderful cornucopia of natural components that are beneficial in that plant. I don't know why you would want to just take it out and isolate it, but it is, Coleus forscolae is a metabolism changer. But look at this. We talked about chi and energy and flow, one of the best herbs for your respiratory system as well. And bone density, how healthy is your blood? How healthy are your kidneys? Coleus forscolae has all these other, when you use the whole plant, it does all these other wonderful things that help restore chi in us. It activates a certain enzyme. You can try to pronounce that. I'm not going to. Okay, what does this enzyme do? It does what we would probably all do better if we had a better diet and less stress in our life. We'd utilize fats more in our metabolism. When we utilize fats in our metabolism, we've received this training from Dr. Allison before. We don't create as many free radicals that the body has to clean up. It's a cleaner way of getting energy. That is good fats. And Soul's trying to make a difference there with Infatuate, with Soul Mega. We do have several products that really are wonderful for bringing more fats into our diet. But we do need help. The chi needs to be also strengthened to help us use them. And Coleus forscolae is one of the plants that will help in that. Now, there's a little bit of green tea. There's not much in, and I'll tell you why we put it in here, because of this wonderful, famous antioxidant that is so versatile, and it's a superstar, I would say, and that is this EGCG. Sometime you'll have to ask Blake to tell you, maybe Debbie can pronounce it too. It's a long word. He can say it. I can usually say it on my third try. But it's the reason, it's something prevalent in green tea, and one of the wonderful reasons why green tea can be so beneficial. And you can kind of look a little bit about what it does. And here we are. It also can team up well with Coleus in the way we metabolize fatty acids, good fats. People don't always associate that with green tea, but yes. And the whole way our metabolism functions, it's also such a great antioxidant. And then you got nopal. We've talked a lot about it, nopal and cinnamate. It is an adaptogen. You won't always see it on the list, but it absolutely is. It's my favorite example of what an adaptogen is because it has components that lower blood sugar levels and it has components that raise them. So no matter where you're out of balance, nopal is something that brings nutrition in that your body can use as it seeks to put itself back into balance. And when we're in balance, better flow of chi, right? Nopal, people don't always know that nopal is also a mood elevator. Nopal itself has 2 flavonoids that are part of studies that combat depression. And it's got these great heart benefits. I always love telling the report that I read really early on when, in fact, it was before we launched Soul. It literally was in the year prior to launching all these wonderful products, where I was shocked, frankly, to know that the heart actually secretes hormone. I always thought of it as a pump, but we science, and those who have a mind to study and learn are discovering additional things about how just amazing this body is. Heart does other things too. So whenever I see something that is heart strengthening and has benefits for balance in heart health, heart is such an electric, or it is all about electricity, but then all of us are, all parts of us are. That's back to the flow of chi. I want heart ingredients in everything. And Soul Vital originally was positioned as purely a heart formula for your heart. Most people don't know that because it has so many broad benefits, but it was originally prepared as a heart formula. So, and here we come to this great probiotic. Doesn't need to be refrigerated, this one. We've talked about it in the past. Look at these 4 things that this probiotic produces. Yes, fatty acids, short chain fatty acids, CLA, a number, I actually don't know how many, but a number of substances that destroy harmful bacteria, a number of bacteriocins, and 3 different B vitamins, at least, that we know of. These are the ones that it's been studied. And in Europe, if you look up this probiotic, you will see in a couple of countries, it's recognized as a viable nutritional source of B12 because it produces enough of it to be significant. We won't spend a lot of time on that one today, but there are several studies showing that your other probiotics do better in your system if you add this one. In other words, the whole colony of the whole variety of beneficial bacteria can thrive when this one is present. And that's not always the case with every strain. And then we get to one of my favorite ingredients, because Debbie originally was saying, can you talk a little bit about how PowerChi helps circulatory system? And one of the great reasons it does this is because of beets. That's the next ingredient. We have this wonderful concentrate of red beetroot powder. And look what it does. It does 2 monumental things to restore chi. Your liver, which has to deal with so many different things in terms of digestion, but also this idea of things that weaken us and that impede, that it block, or that slow down, that clump up toxins of all kinds, and the liver dealing with this because it produces bile. And Dr. Allison, I love the teaching that she shared a while ago. If you have enough fiber and you have enough bile and you have enough water, fiber, bile, and water, you can detox from most things. So many things, you need those 3 components. And if you think about it for a minute, you kind of see it. It's quite logical, right? That's when those components are there, enough water, enough fiber, you have a good intestinal flow and you're able to eliminate what needs to get eliminated. If we don't, then it just gets reabsorbed. This vicious cycle happens in us, and the liver has to work again to deal with it because it gets reabsorbing, ends up going throughout the body. So many things. The body has to collect it and isolate it again and try to get rid of it. Think about how often we feel bogged down and plateaued out, and in situations where we feel like we can't improve this thing we're trying to improve, and how much of that has to do with chi and this concept, this part of it that we're talking about. that beets and in particular PowerChi can be helping us with. Okay, so beets are pretty interesting. They are a huge liver function, but they also improve lymph flow. Again, another key part of cleanup, clarifying so that energy can flow once again. There are nitrates in red beetroot that help the flow of blood. When blood can get there and it's being cleansed, when both those things are happening, good things tend to happen. Nutrition gets to the cells and stuff that needs to get removed can get removed, and congestion can be opened up. And therefore it's logical. All the measures that we have of our blood, like blood pressure and blood lipids and all these different measurements that kind of give us an indication about how balanced, we'll say it that way, our circulation is. Balance being the healthy state, homeostasis. They all improve. Blood pressure and those things all improve when we can do those things. So red beetroot has this like secret power, superpower to me. It's not secret really. And that is that blood oxygenation improves. Oxygen, which is so important, is needed in brain function and cellular function. It can happen better with red beetroot in the diet. And so it's one of those great, I think, a really clear example of how we can, it's something we can teach to others. Here's a great example of what we're talking about in putting ourselves more in balance, red beetroot and oxygen, and what can change when we talk about soul products, the red ones elevating. So we have better, more focused thought, better memory, all those things, right? Just better mental function, because boy, nothing can change that more quickly than being, kind of dehydrated and kind of low on oxygen. I don't know what the word would be for, there's dehydrated for low on water, and then the oxygen, the equivalent.
Well, you're oxygen deprived, and I think
Oxygen deprived.
And I think it's really evident, Greg, at this time when we're talking about people trying to be a little more healthy and more active. People like to go on fast, do fasting for a long period of time. And that's where they break down a lot of their body functions because they're really not providing proper nutrition. What I love about this product in particular, and that's why I wanted to talk a little bit more about the cardiovascular function, is because red beetroot is a vasodilator by nature. And so it allows that oxygenation to the blood, to the brain, and so helps the central nervous system and it's also highly nutritious, kind of like mate, where there's so much nutrition in it. And so this product really can help so many people, especially during fasting periods, because it helps keep the energy up, because it increases the oxygen that's getting to the brain.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ability for the blood to carry oxygen more efficiently and effectively. I mean, it's a kind of it kind of works in both ways. I mean, here's some other little add-ons that Dr. Allison showed us on beets. I like this red beet cake. That looks really good about now. But super rich in B vitamins. Not everyone knows that. Calcium, iron, ALA, and other antioxidants. Again, supporting the liver. Here we have another one that is a liver strengthener, and you can see a big theme for PowerChi in terms of liver. Then you add rooibos. Now here's another adaptogen. We'll always call it a probable adaptogen because you won't see it on most lists, but all of its characteristics of an adaptogen. It's a South African plant. Now this one is looking at yet another vital organ that's huge in chi, and that's your kidneys. Because again, when you look at, back to Debbie's comment on circulation, kidney health and balanced kidneys can have a direct impact on blood pressure, right? And so rooibos is another wonderful addition to complement what the other's doing for the liver, but also, I think I mentioned the kidneys earlier on, I can't remember which of the ingredients. Here's another one that helps in that, and there are some specific studies that they've shown that there are direct benefits to rooibos. Obviously, like as with all adaptogens, it helps with inflammation of a number of different types. It is a heart strengthener. It is a friend of your pancreas as well. It kind of every measure of how, when that's effective. And then Debbie mentioned this already, but it wasn't enough for us to just put the red beets in there and rooibos, which is actually quite nutritious. Any adaptogen has many active components, but yerba mate, we wanted to, this is such a star in Soul formulas. We wanted to make sure that there was some of, for the same reasons, it is so packed with nutrition while you're doing all these good things and enabling a better flow of chi. At the same time, we want to make sure we're putting plenty of nutrients in the body, because to me, these are the fuel. Some of the compounds swing the gates and push things along. And then there's also this direct fuel in quantity that the body needs to produce energy. And yerba mate is one of those. It's so, what is it? You're getting close to 200 known compounds, and a number of them unique to yerba mate. So that's the reason yerba mate is in there. And actually I think there's a couple more slides she talks about. She goes into the program, which Debbie already has in the flyer. So PowerChi, to me, hopefully it sparked a couple of ideas. It's a very, very unique one, and it's super versatile and quite concentrated. You can start small with PowerChi and then see where you go.
Yeah, I have some friends that I've actually turned on to PowerChi, and they said, whoa, I took the 4 and it was just too much in the beginning. And so, you know, they cut back. And then there's people like me who don't feel it at all because I'm not caffeine sensitive at all. But I love the way I feel when I have this product on hand, because I know it's balancing my blood sugar. It's giving me the nutrition I need. And, you know, okay, so I'm going to be 62 in 6 weeks.
Woohoo!
And so for me,
62 going on 40, Debbie.
You know what?
That's what you are.
Thank you. 62 turns around the sun. That's a lot of turns around the sun. Anyway, our metabolism changes, like you say, depending on what we're doing and what we're eating and all of the things that we're doing, right? And so for me, I know that I don't try to overeat. There's some days that I do, but this is a product that helps me control a lot of things. And when I use it in addition to the adaptable, and I'm taking it with my drinks, my body and my brain really do amazing things. And that's why I wanted you to revisit this product with us again. And it doesn't matter how many times I hear information about PowerChi, I always learn something new. But for those of you who are wondering how to say ECGC, it's really a cool word. But anyway, it's actually epigallocatechin gallite. So
you did it.
I did it. But anyway, I love that this product is part of this program, this package, aptly named the PowerChi program, because you're getting a lot of cardiovascular and pancreatic support in the whole program, and bombarding your body with good nutrition, which is really important, because if you've gone through the 4-month program, you know that your body needed to get into balance before it could do any type of cleansing and be strong enough. And then you're going to support all of the organs that you actually cleansed by providing them an immersive, for lack of a better word, all-encompassing nutritional program, which I love, because you're combining your Soul Complete, which has a lot of nutrition. We'll talk about Soul Complete again another day. We've got the Avant Greens, which I love. And then let's see, Juanita has a quick question off the record. So perfect. All right. Well, anyway, I just think that this product is amazing. Greg, thanks for telling us your headspace, what you were thinking when you designed this product, because yes, curious minds want to know, inquiring minds want to know, wants to know what you were thinking. And I love this product. So I thank you again for being with us every week, for thoroughly explaining why this product benefits the circulatory system so well as all of the vital organs of the body when we're talking about the vital energy of our body, or in other words, the chi. I love you. I love you. I love you. I thank you for everything that you do for us. And I love that everyone's been here with us this week. Thanks, everybody.